Hey, Marvs. Welcome back to Training Grounds Part 5. If you want to catch up or actually start this whole series from the very beginning, check it out on tjmarbell.com under the section Did You Know? And you'll have parts 1 to 4, maybe even 5, up there for you to review and listen to. So let's get into it. Judah is like, Dad, we need to take Benjamin with us in order to get more food. Jacob is like, why you guys' mouths so big? You tell all your business. Well, at least we know that Joseph, being a tattletale on his brothers, runs in the family. He kept asking questions about our family and us. How would we know that he would just say, bring your brother down to Egypt? To his point, none of this makes any sense. Like, honestly. But God always uses the things that don't make sense very often. Jacob finally agrees to send Ben and also the best products or produce of the lands as gifts. Joe was probably so excited to see the produce from his homeland, and it seems like God is also still providing for Jacob and his family during the famine. So can somebody tell me why they're trying to go to Egypt again? I'm just, Talk about divine intervention. Jacob said, take double the amount that was put back into your sacks, as it was probably someone's mistake. No, Jacob, that was all your son's idea. What's the saying? The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. All of Jacob's children seem to have inherited that trickster spirit, even though his name was changed. Joseph sees his younger brother and lets his housekeeper know that they will eat with him today. Verse 17. So the man did as Joseph told him and took them into Joseph's palace. Marbs. I just think it's so cool that the Bible mentions that Joe had a palace, okay? While we're over here admiring Joe's palace, the brothers were terrified because they were being taken to Joe's house. I'm so sorry, Marvin. We are at verse 18 of this chapter, Genesis 43, and this whole chapter is so funny to me, okay? It's almost like a comedy show. I guess because we're like the live studio audience and we have an idea of what's going to happen next, it just reads so very funny to me. However, these brothers were probably thinking, this is it. God just handed us over on a silver platter. I was wondering why they were so worried about their donkeys would be taken. You would think that becoming slaves and would have been more harmful. But no, in verse 18, the latter section, some of the brothers are saying it's because of the money someone put in our sacks last time we were here. He plans to pretend that we stole it. Then he seizes us and makes us our slaves and take our donkeys. Okay. So they get to Joseph's house and tell the butler that somehow the payment for the previous grain received didn't go through. And they have no idea what happened. This time, they brought back double payment and gifts from their homeland. The butler is like, what are you talking about? We got your payment. Your God must have put the money back in your sacks. Okay, we'll just leave that one alone. Okay. Marbs, I'm telling you, this chapter is hilarious when you really sit down and take a look at it. It's like, what? So, Marbs, even the donkeys are eating at Joe's house. So, yeah, they weren't giving away. They were just, having lunch or dinner. Simon is also released. One of the brothers that was held before is released to join in the festivities. Verses 24 and 25. Joseph is a very interesting character, okay? He asks about Jacob and asks about his youngest brother. They share the same father and mother. So, he's just probably just looking at himself pretty much, So Joe had to run out of the room because he was crying like a baby. Verse 31 says that after washing his face, he came back keeping himself under control. Then he ordered, bring out the food. And then Joseph sits the brothers according to their ages, oldest to youngest, and gave Ben 5 times more food than his other brothers. Marbs, let's do this. How about you tell me the training ground experiences from this chapter? And how do you think Joe felt seeing how his brothers interacted with Benjamin, the baby of the family? So the verse is Romans 12, verse 9, NLT. Don't just pretend to love others, really love them. Hate what is wrong, hold tightly to what is good. And that's what the Bible says, not TJ. Until next time, take care.